Hi everyone, welcome back to another Liquored and Lacquered. We have reached season 8 finale week of Game of Thrones. It's very sad, but it's also great because it's been so entertaining and I just adore the show and have done for a number of years now. In fact, my chemo mani, my last chemo, was inspired by What Do We Say to the God of Death? Not Today. So, details for this mani will be in the description box down below. I am going to show you my top 10 Game of Thrones polishes. I'm going to swatch them with you as we go. I have a number of polishes, so it was very difficult to narrow it down to 10. And yeah, I'll explain my reasoning as I'm going. I wanted to pick polishes that were good for the theme that they picked or the name that they picked, and that could also fit into any collection even if you're not a Game of Thrones fan. I also wanted to pick a fairly varied 10, so I didn't want just all blues and greys and multi-chromes. I wanted different finishes and colours, so I think I've achieved that. So let's jump in to the first polish. This is from Illyrian Polish, and it's a beautiful blue jelly with the most sparkly blue-green glitters in here, and then there's a tiny little purple kind of pink glitter as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. And this is called Nothing Burns Like the Cold. So let's swatch it here on my nail wheel. If you're wondering where that towel underneath it's from Pennies or Primark. So you can see it's quite sheer. This does take a little bit of building up, and that glitter is quite textured as well. So we are going to come back to that in a second with another coat. So let's pop a second coat on here. And I think on my nails I used 3 coats, but I've also used this as a topper over a similar colour blue. But you can see that you've got those dark blue kind of glitters in here, and then this kind of green to blue glitter too. So there's a little bit sheer still, so we'll come back in for a third coat. So finally we'll go in with a third coat, and you get that lovely blue jelly effect, and the sparkle is so pretty. I hope you guys are picking up the sparkle here. Really pretty. And again, you can use this as a topper if you want, but I kind of like that jelly sandwich type effect, and it's really nice. Really nice. So that is Nothing Burns Like the Cold from Illyrian Polish, and yeah, love that one. I'm not entirely sure if this one is still available, but yeah, that's Illyrian Polish. It's a good few years old. And then the next and final one from Illyrian is this one. This is Winter Is Coming. It's a beautiful grey base with a linear and scattered holographic, and a holographic kind of a shredded glitter in here too. And then there's a blue flash to it as well in the glitter. It's so pretty. Now this one, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 coats. I wore it recently, but I can't quite remember. Just to give you a look at the formula, so it's just the blue glitters really come out here. It's so pretty, so pretty. I'm trying not to get polish on. Oh, it's definitely 3 coats. I'm just looking at it now. Maybe, yeah, no, it was definitely 3 coats. This one has a really beautiful grey base though, and the blue just really shows up in it. It's so pretty when it's built up. But yeah, that is Winter Is Coming, and I'll be right back with a second coat. Now this does build up quite nicely on the nail. You can already see it's a lot more opaque on that second coat, and I think you get a good idea. I'll go in for a third coat anyway. Sure, why not? I also added a top coat to the blue here, just to see what it would be like for you guys. So I'll do that with Winter Is Coming as well. Let's go in for our final coat. And it's just a beautiful, there's like a slate kind of grey finish off this, a gunmetal grey, that's the grey I'm looking for here. but that blue is so icy in it. It's perfect for the name, I think. But it's a beautiful kind of winter polish. So they are our 2 polishes from Illyrian. And then the next ones I have are from Deluxe. Now Deluxe polish have the most amount of Game of Thrones polishes, I believe. They have 3 separate collections. So I limited myself to 3 polishes, but they are amazing. And now that I realise now that the 3 polishes I picked are all inspired by men. I should have picked some of the female inspired ones at the Dames of Thrones collection, but I didn't, so here we are. But I did pick my favourites. This one was inspired by the Master of Whispers, who is Varys, and it's a glorious Cabri purple with a blue flash. Then there is a silver holographic kind of shredded flaky in there, like or shredded glitter, even just kind of crushed glitter, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And then a very sparkly reddish pink glitter in there too. This is so pretty. And when I put this, when I got this, I couldn't understand why everybody wasn't talking about this polish, because it looks amazing. It's kind of got that effect where the glitter almost looks white in daylight, those silver glitters. It looks so unusual, and I really love it. Yeah, you're kind of getting the effect there already. So that's the first coat, and I'll come back with a second and third coat. Okay, so let's go in with our next coat with Master of Whispers. Oh, I love this polish so much. It's just beautiful. And it's such a simple idea, red and purple. Like, they obviously work really well together. And yeah, love that polish. And I'll come in with a third coat just to really deepen up that base. And our final coat of Master of Whispers. Whispers? I guess he's the Master of Whisperers as well, right? So it's really pretty. Oh, I love the glitter in that. So yeah, and that's my only purple actually. Well, I have a lightish purple, but yeah, love that. So that is our first Deluxe polish. The next one we have, I have something similar from Caddy Lacquer, but it's not a Game of Thrones polish. This one has a beautiful navy blue jelly base. Then it has matte kind of almost teal leaning glitters, and then a metallic kind of emerald or bright emerald kind of glitter in there as well, in different sizes. The formula on this is beautiful. This is Clash of Seas, and I can't remember if it's just Theon or if it's just the Ironborn in general. I think it's for Theon and not Yara. I think it's Theon, but I could be wrong about that. It could be Davos actually as well. I will put it in the brackets of the down below so you can see it. But yeah, see how beautiful that is. Such a gorgeous glitter dispersal. So that is the first coat of Clash of Seas. Okay, here we are going in with our second coat. Now, some people, if you have shorter nails, you might be okay with just 2 coats on this one, but I definitely had a very visible nail line after just 2, so I went in with a third. I also think a third coat just deepens up the base and just adds a little bit more glitter, which is, you know, always a good thing for your manicure. So that is a second coat of Clash of Seas. And finally our third coat. Yeah, it looks a lot more magical, I think, with that third coat. So it looks lovely. I love a blue-green combo. Really love that. So that is Clash of Seas. And that is our second Deluxe polish. And then our final Deluxe polish, completely different colour. We're finally moving into more warm tones, and this is the Viper, based off of Oberyn Martell's character. It's a gorgeous kind of, I struggle with this kind of a colour. It's kind of a magenta fuchsia base, but there's so much glitter in here, so much pink and purple and red going on here. I used it over Valentine's because I just thought it was the most beautiful Valentine's polish, and it is really pretty. And I do need to clean up the bottle cap on that one. So this is our first coat of the Viper. And this is super sparkly. Yeah, it's kind of got a fuchsia tinge off it, but I guess it's more of a wine colour. I guess if you were really being fussy, it's more of a wine colour. But it's super, super sparkly. Sorry if you can hear the front door there. Okay, so we'll go in with our next coat. And it's so sparkly, this one. I really, really love it. I actually was fine in 2 coats with this one. So you might want a third depending on your preference. But for a jelly, I think this is quite good in 2 coats. So that is the Viper from Deluxe. And that's our final Deluxe polish. So the next one is a brand that is no longer around, I believe. I don't think you can get this anymore, so apologies for teasing you, but this is really up there with one of my favourite Game of Thrones polishes, and actually one of my favourite reds. I do love a good red polish, and this is Dracarys. And yeah, it's from Celestial Polish. It's a beautiful kind of tomato red holographic with a really beautiful linear holographic, and then there is a red glitter in here as well, which I think you can just see. And I love this. I love it so much that I actually don't want to waste it on the swatch stick, but I will for you guys. It's so bright and vibrant on the nail. It's just the perfect formula as well. It's beautiful. I really, really love this. I think it's perfect for the theme for, you know, the Mother of Dragons, Dracarys and fire and all that kind of thing. So yeah, really, really love that one. And I'll come back in with a second coat. So let's go in with our second coat here. And this covers for me in 2 coats. The glitter in here is gorgeous. Again, it might depend on your preference, but for me this is good in 2 coats. And you can, I hope you can see the linear holographic in this. I can see it in person, but as usual I have trouble with my ring light picking up on this, but you can definitely see the sparkle from the red glitter in there. I love this. It's a beautiful red. It does lead into the tomato kind of orange colour of red though, so just be aware of that if you do happen to find this and you don't like that finish. But yeah, really, really pretty. So that's Dracarys from Celestial. I have a couple of other Celestial Game of Thrones polishes, but that's the only one I've picked for the top 10. Then we are into Glam Polish. Glam Polish have a number of Game of Thrones themed polishes. I have 3 or 4, I think. And this is definitely a favourite. This is the Dance of the Dragons. I believe half. This is a favourite of Half's as well. This is a really strong multi-chrome polish that moves from a very kind of bright emerald green colour to teal to purple, and then you've got that kind of a gold flash in here. You've got holographic, sketched holographic glitter in here, micro glitter, and then there's a copper glitter in here too, which you can just about see there. The shift is really good on this. You do get that teal, green, purple shift on the nail from the first coat, and it's a great 2-coat formula. So I'm going to show it to you here. The first coat, I love this. It almost has a metallic effect in the base. It's not metallic, but it almost has that in the base. And again, just the tiny little glitters in here disperse really beautifully. So I will build that up for you in a second coat. So let's go in for our second coat. And as you can see, it deepens up quite a bit. Now it depends on your application. As always, you may want to go in for a third coat depending on how thin you go. But a thick second coat should cover it. And hopefully you guys can see, maybe when it dries and I don't get it all over my hands, hopefully you can see, you can definitely see the shift in person. Ah, there you go. So you can already see that it just moves very effortlessly from those green teal tones to the purple. It's really pretty and sparkly too. So that is the Dance of the Dragons, which I am recording this after episode 3 in season 8 of Game of Thrones, and this looks actually even better now since that episode, because there's a beautiful shot of the dragons above the clouds at night, and this one does actually work really well for that theme. So yeah, so that is the Dance of the Dragons from Glam Polish. So beautiful. So for the bottle alone you'd buy this polish. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And the next Glam Polish, okay, so I have 10 here and I've been trying to pick between these two, so I might just show them to you anyway and turn this up to 11. But if I'm really picking between these two, oh, it's so hard. Do you know what? I'm just going to give you 11 polishes because I can't. Oh, I think I'll stick with my 10 because both of these are called Kissed by Fire. So I was trying to pick which one I love. It came to 11 polishes and I didn't know which one I loved more. This one from Caddy Lacquer, which is a red with a beautiful gold glitter in here. It's very micro or finely milled glitter. And then this one from Glam Polish, which is another Kissed by Fire, as I said, but it's another one of those duochromes. It moves from a gold to a bronze colour to a coppery colour, and it's really pretty. I say duochrome because I'm not sure if you're going to get the full spectrum like you did on of the Dance of Dragons, but it's still so beautiful for the autumn, and it has that little kind of holographic glitter in there too. So yeah, so this is Kissed by Fire. So yeah, I was thinking, should I do like a video same name different polish kind of thing, because I have a number of polishes that have the same name but they're completely different. I guess there's brown tones in this as well, so I guess when you get it on the nail you do see that too. So maybe I'm being mean. Maybe I should give it its full multi-chrome status. But again, this is going to be a solid 2-coater, and yeah, it is definitely my favourite of the two Kissed by Fires. So yeah, if I could only have 10 Game of Thrones polishes, it would definitely make the list. So I'll be back with a second coat. Okay, so we're going to come in with our second coat of Kissed by Fire. It does actually have that kind of olive green effect as well when you're putting it on the nails. So yeah, I think we'll definitely go for a multi-chrome finish here. So it goes from that gold to coppery bronze colour, and then into that there is a hint of olive green on that as well, which I think you can see there if I just move it around the different lights. And again, the formula is just beautiful on that one. Really pretty. So that is Kissed by Fire. And that is like the perfect, there's even like a kind of a red tone off of the copper effect, I think, if you see there. It's really pretty. So yeah, so that is the last of the Glam polishes. And then I've already kind of teased my last two are from the Caddy Lacquer Game of Thrones collection. Now if you were to ask me my favourite Game of Thrones collection, it's Caddy Lacquer. I know other brands out there, I think Girly Bits or Dolish Polish maybe, have Game of Thrones polishes. I don't actually own any of them. They're quite tricky for me to get, so, or at least they were when they were available. So yeah, Caddy Lacquer was definitely one of the first brands I bought, and one of the first indie brands I bought an entire collection of, and it was the Game of Thrones collection. This is a first favourite, the first of the favourites. This is Wear It Like Armour, which is a lilac pink base Crelly, which has gorgeous different sized copper glitters in it. This is a very special polish to me because it's the polish that I wore to my first chemotherapy, because I wanted to wear everything like armour, and yeah, it got me through it, so you know, that's good. And yeah, we're gonna put it down here. Hopefully I haven't wrecked that swatch, but yeah, I love this one. I think this is it's good in 3 coats, but I think this is a favourite, I think, in the Caddy Lacquer collectors. This seems to be one of the favourites, so I'll definitely need a couple of coats on this, but it's just beautiful. Okay, so let's go in with our second coat of Wear It Like Armour, and as you can see, it builds up really nicely. I'm not going to do a third coat here because I don't want to waste this polish. I love it so much. But you can see how it builds up quite nicely. It's okay there in 2 coats. I wouldn't need a 3rd coat on this. So that is Wear It Like Armour. Oh, I love it. I love this polish. As if I can't sing its praises enough. It's beautiful. And it's so different to all of the kind of Game of Thrones polishes you'd get used to seeing, which is why I like the Caddy Lacquer collection, because you've got a mix of pastels, you've got a mix of colours and finishes, so it's definitely my favourite. And this is my last one today. This is another one from that collection. This is Where the King Goes, the Realm Follows. It's a fabulous turquoise Cronall with different sized gold glitters. Who knew? Turquoise and gold. I mean, it seems so simple, but it's the only one of its type that I have in my collection, and it's just, again, just an impeccable formula. And I mean, I say Cronall, but maybe it's more of a jelly, actually. Maybe I'm misremembering this. I haven't worn it in a while, so I need to pull it out before the end of this season. But so nice, the glitter dispersal again in that. So we'll come back with a 2nd coat on that one as well. Okay, guys and girls, so let's go in for our last coat here, our second and last coat on Where the King Goes, the Realm Follows. And again, it's just one of those ones I don't need to do a 3rd coat for this video, because you get a really good idea of what that's like. So pretty. So guys and girls, they are my 10 favourite Game of Thrones themed polishes. As you can tell, they're all from indie makers, so yeah, they are really great. I would love to know if you have a favourite Game of Thrones polish. I mean, from a mainstream, the only one I think may be inspired by Game of Thrones is Zoya's Sansa, but I don't even know if the name for that came from Game of Thrones. I'm guessing it did. But yeah, let me know down below if there are any Game of Thrones collections that you think I would enjoy, or polishes that are favourites of yours from Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire collections. I will talk to you all again very, very soon. Thanks a million for watching, and enjoy the final episodes of Game of Thrones. Bye.